Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: Buhari's government finally breaks silence, unveils truth behind the 5G network in Nigeria. See details. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government has again spoken on the alleged relationship between the new 5G network and the COVID-19 pandemic, also known as coronavirus. Reports has it that the President Buhari-led government, through the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ibrahim Paintama, dismissed the fear of Nigerians, stressing that he is not aware of any research linking the dreaded virus with 5G. The minister spoke while featuring as a guest at Channel's TV news program. Paintama, who was asked to respond to the concern of Nigerians who are worried about the safety of the 5G network following the demo trial of November 2019 in Abuja, said he's yet to see any research by any of the international and professional bodies linking 5G and COVID-19 as being speculated in some quarters. He noted that during the demo trial conducted on 25th November 2019 on 5G network, MTN did not use the spectrum of 5G, but did the trial using the spectrum of 4G, not 5G, because federal government does not acquire infrastructure for any company in telecommunications. We have always taken decisions based on opinion of experts and research. We have many health and telecommunications world bodies. I am yet to see any research by any of these professional bodies like ITU and others about 5G and COVID-19. These are bodies that accommodate our experts in this field globally. We have these professional bodies which make research on these and other related matters. During the trial, I personally invited about 16 institutions and also directed NCC to invite their stakeholders. With experts we have so far, the recommendation will accommodate many experts when it comes to matters like this. When you want to do trial, you must involve stakeholders. During the trial, based on the report that came to me from NCC, they only use the spectrum of 4G, and even the spectrum of 5G is the same with radio frequency, and it has not been released for anybody for 5G. In a statement obtained by this online platform on Monday, Isa Paintama insisted that there was no cause for alarm since no 5G license has been issued, and advised Nigerians not to be worried because no spectrum of 5G has been issued and no approval given to any operator to deploy 5G, insisting that government would only take final decision based on experts' recommendations. We as a government do not speak based on speculations, but based on facts and figures and inputs from experts within the field, and not rely on speculations. It was because of these that when the issue of COVID-19 emerged, the first thing the government did was to advise people not to speak unnecessarily, but to allow experts in the field to speak. Because of these, Nigerians should not be worried because no license for 5G has been issued, no spectrum of 5G has been issued, no approval given to any operator to deploy 5G. This decision will be taken after research. We are taking our time. Many countries deployed 5G in UK, Germany, South Korea, India, South Africa, Lesotho. Now Uganda and Kenya are working on deploying 5G. In Nigeria, we know our constitution. Because of these, we are not in any way rushing until after extensive investigation, so that we will be able to come out with something tangible. When asked to comment on where 5G falls within the range of iodized and non-iodized frequency, the minister said, during the trial, you can use the spectrum of one generation to test another one. The 4G, 3G, and 2G have been in existence till today. During the trial, I personally did it. On On what was found from the trial, Paintama said federal government awaits recommendation of a team of experts assigned to study on it and submit their findings before taking a final decision on whether to issue 5G license in Nigeria or not. That's the news. But in another news of the same topic, an eyewitness actually came on and said, contrary to the claims of the Minister for Communication and Technology that the license for the 5G network has not been approved nor issued, a ride through some part of Abuja shows otherwise. That's serious. So prior to the lockdown, these masts that you're going to see, as we're talking, were not noticeable. But after the order was relaxed in Abuja, residents began to notice that the appearances of many of the marks on the top of on the rooftops of most buildings, particularly around Otako and Jabi areas, with a giant one around the Otako market, the section where chickens are sold. It was cordoned off with policemen stationed around it. This is amazing, but why would they want to put a policeman around it? Why are they scared? Really, if it's acceptable, why are they allowing policemen to guard it? Are they scared that Nigerians will do something very funny to it? Well, let's go on. So again, could it be that the network could be a better upgrade of 4G, that life will become near perfect? If there is no monetary interest in the production of 5G network, would they have released it and very fast in Africa and Nigeria in particular? Can China, with all the suspicion over the virus attack and its sudden near zero mortality rate in Wuhan and other neighboring cities and countries, be trusted enough by any country to allow for the hosting of its new network at almost the same time the pandemic is at its highest? How do they get the figure of how many Nigerians will die as a result of the spread of the virus? Why are countries that have very high mortality rate due to the virus now evacuating their nationals from Nigeria, which has a low death rate and slower spread of the virus? More questions need answers, and not the rumbling rustle of some of the confused government officials who are either ignorant of the issues at stake or deliberately covering up something to please China, considering that Nigeria is now so much indebted to her. While the controversies rages, I will continue to bring the light my findings and find out those who see nothing wrong with the 5G network, who believe that the radiation possesses no threat, and who have not asked why Nigeria and indeed Africa is the toast of China for the sudden spread of its new technology. You may wish to stay in your wisdom while some of us continue to ask fundamental questions. But okay, that's just it generally. And the Nigerians have taken to their handles, the social media handles, to react. A lot of them are of the opinion that all of a sudden the government is saying that the trial version was actually a 4G and not a 5G as speculated. An eyewitness in Abuja said that when they were before the lockdown, there was no marks, and all of a sudden after the lockdown, there's a 5G marks mounted in Otako and other places, and stationed strongly guarded by the policemen and the security agents in Nigeria, which speaks volumes. Why would they want to guard it? Are they scared that which happened in China may likely take place in Nigeria? Do they think that some citizens may take the laws into their hands and bring down the 5G, despite the fact that there's so many speculations? Licenses have not been given. Is it that the government is buying time? Being the fact that just this issue of social media and hate speech bill and all that. When the tempo was high, what the lawmakers did was they shifted it to when the tempo was a bit lower, so they can roll it in. And when they started with this issue of 22.8 billion dollars they wanted to borrow, Nigeria said no vehemently. They kept quiet in 2019. As soon as 2020 came in, they gently and very quietly, quickly, tried to pass it into law. But not for the Green Chamber that said, look, looking through, a Barry mention came against them during their trying to put it into law. But the Green Chamber, it was practically Abaribe really that was the only voice in the Red Chamber. It was just the Green Chamber that said, look, the Southeasterners are not involved in this. For that reason, we're going to keep this on hold. And that's to tell you how sometimes our government of the day, tend to play right on the citizens' rights, so to speak. Now, you say you're going to consult the stakeholders. When the result comes out, will you truly consult the stakeholders before signing the license? Okay, you're saying no now because as at that time the video came up where you licensed it, as in you gave approval, but now you're saying that what was licensed was not 5G but 4G, and they can be using intermittently. If they can, then why are we still looking out for 5G? Why are we looking out for 5G? Because they said it's faster. If what 5G can do, 4G can do it, which I see that with due respect, I listen that the minister have very little knowledge on this, because I know 5G is far faster, far higher. It has higher frequency, far faster than 4G. So if you are saying that they have the same frequency and they have the same purpose, then there's no need for 5G. But then, while he's saying that there's no such thing that's taking place, those who stay in Abuja said they are already seeing Mast strongly guarded by the security men. But let's feel the pulse of Nigeria over the statement he has made. This one here is saying, please, Minister, let 5G be mounted at Aso Rock and all the northern part of the country first before you mount it in Lagos. After all, if there is a grant for farmers, that is where it is shared first. Funny you. This one here is saying, Porous head using 4G to test for 5G and you expect the same frequency. If same, why not remain on the 4G? Same question I asked. Why migrate to 5G? This is a matter of round peg on a square hole, Minister. Typical of Buhari's government officials. Okay, after this much, if you're saying the 4G is the same as 5G, then why are we glamoring for 5G? Let's continue with the 4G based on what the minister said. This one says, since the federal government of Nigeria did not issue 5G license to any telecommunication company, the one said to have been raised in Paintama, that's the general area, Abuja and Ikeja general area, Lagos, should be pulled down by the citizens living in that area, like Chinese did to their 5G in their country. Period. These are Nigerians talking. You can't fool the people some of the time, but you can't fool the people all of the time. But that's how much you can take, because generally Nigerians are reacting against the issue of this 5G generally. And my fear is, while we are reacting, they may just keep quiet, like he said, they are waiting for expert recommendation. When the expert recommendation will come, when they will sign it, I bet you Nigerians will not know it. They started mounting the marks, and they're saying there's no such thing like that is 4G, thinking that Nigerians are not foolish. They may be talking a lot online, doesn't mean that they're foolish. They know what they're saying. Now, if you're saying 4G is the same thing as 5G, why are you insisting on 5G? Then, if they continue mounting the marks, when they will license it, when will Nigeria truly know this? Let's go to a comment section. What do you think about all this mixture of, this is so, it is not so, we didn't approve, we approved. Let's go to a comment section. For me, I just feel that this whole thing is we can't even seem to get the grips of what the government officials are really saying. Let's go to a comment section. Let's interact.